everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Cubicle AMF Tech Tip Podcast. This is the weekly podcast where we take you on a journey through the fascinating world of bowling technology and beyond. As always, I'm your host, Orly, and I have a very special guest returning. And, I told him to stay by his phone, and it happened. We got more questions. So we have Lance Rasmussen. Lance, thank you again for joining the show.
Thank you for having me, and good to hear from you, and look forward to having people check out some of the different new tips and questions that I can answer for you. Yeah.
And Lance, for those who might not have caught the last show that you were on, Lance works for CDE Software. Lance, can you let everyone know, maybe you could just give a little breakdown also if they're like, what's CDE Software, and let them know what you do within the company.
Sure. So I'm the president of CDE Software, and we produce back office software that can do leagues. We also have a tournament program called BTM, and kind of a tournament / side pots product called TBRAC. And then, of course, our BLS is our flagship product to manage leagues that been pretty much since we started business. But I've been around for 30 years with the company, and answering tech support questions is one of the things I do, as well as help develop the product.
Perfect. Well, again, if you didn't listen to the last show, make sure to go back and listen to that one, because Lance was able to answer some great questions. So we are kind of going to go back into the mailbag here and grab some questions. So first, Lance, we have, BLS can print recap sheets. Do you need to buy them? And if so, where can you get them?
That's a great question. We do recommend using the officially supported inkjet or laserjet recap sheets made by our printer partner, DataBar. And you can get them direct from their website, and a link is on our website that'll take you there. They work really, really well with BLS. We test them out, and you can print as many copies per pair as you need. So that can help save paper in case one league likes to have 4 copies of the recaps and another just simply needs 2. So you can control your paper costs that way. But that said, BLS can also print recap sheets on plain paper. So if that's easier for you, just do it that way. And then whether you want the official forms or just the regular paper, both options work really well.
All right. And if a league was uploaded to leaguesecretary.com last season, does anything need to be changed in BLS this year?
No, not at all. So if you rolled the league over from last season, you're good to go. The center number is going to always remain the same. And then for each specific league, they have their own league ID. And that stays the same from year to year to year, which makes it really advantageous because you can actually go back. A bowler could look and say, well, I bowled last year a 182 average, but if I look back the year before that, it's a 155. Now, if you're starting the league from scratch, instead of rolling it over and such, you do need to re-enter those settings. And so again, it'd still be the same league ID and such, but you just need to type them in. But it's a quick and easy process.
All right. And what if the regular league processor goes on vacation and the fill-in person accidentally makes a mess? Like, let's say, changing the league size by mistake. Does the whole league have to be redone?
Not at all. BLS happens to have a handy feature that we call Delete Future Weeks. Sort of a mulligan button, if you will.
Okay.
So if you're in week 10 and the fill-in person deleted 2 teams, but those teams actually bowled in week 10 and should have been dropped in week 11, so you were kind of just off in your timing, you just simply go back to week 9, delete future weeks, so that'll give you the mulligan. Move to week 10, fix things up to put scores back in, move to week 11, and then do your adjustments to your team sizes appropriately, and you're taken care of. So that can work whether there's a mistake made by your own league processor, or sometimes usually what happens is, again, the fill-in person just didn't quite do things correctly.
All right. I'm sure some people are going to have a sigh of relief hearing that answer.
Yes, for sure.
That's me. Sometimes my manager Dottie, which I know, I'm like, well, and she's like, you can't really mess it up. I'm like, Okay, that's always good to know.
If there's a possibility, I'll mess it up. So
Exactly.
absolutely.
All right. What about building leagues? How can centers use BLS to help with that?
Oh, that's a great question. BLS is a great tool for building leagues, especially when you're trying to bring bowlers back. So if it's a returning league, you can run that returning bowlers report, which is essentially a contact list with all the names, phone numbers, addresses, email addresses that are entered into BLS for that league. And then you could reach out by phone or use the built-in emailer feature to say, hey, are you coming back? In the bowler maintenance screen, you can mark bowlers that aren't returning so that they don't carry over when you do restart the league. And of course, if you're using the master bowler database, you can build call lists by league name or phone number. So that can be really handy. So like if somebody bowls 3 leagues, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, instead of calling them for each day, you could actually just make one call and say, hey, are you coming back Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Awesome. Glad to have you back. So it helps save time and keeps things organized.
And I'm going to throw my own question in there because I have a feeling we're going to get this one. You just brought up master bowler database. Can you go into a little bit more detail about what that is and how centers can make the most of it?
Sure. So the master bowler database, or what we usually call MBD, it's a powerful tool that BLS directly links to. It's essentially a central place that holds all your bowler information across all your leagues. You could even add open play bowlers that might be good candidates for future leagues. So if you have a sheet saying, hey, if you're interested in leagues, put your name and phone number and email here and we'll get with you. One of the also nice things about the MBD is that if a bowler does make a change to their physical address, their email address, phone number, you can update it in the MBD, and then the leagues that are linked to it will get those changes automatically get pushed over to each league. And it actually works vice versa too. So if you do make a change in the league, it'll push those changes into the MBD. You might end up with duplicate bowlers once in a while. So, for example, if the same person entered in a league in Monday and entered in a league in Friday, and you forgot to say, hey, this is the same person in the MBD, you can merge them after the fact so that you only have one John Doe as an example, and it keeps things clean and consistent. It also helps building reports. So you can do an address book, the call list that I mentioned. You can also do like a book average report, which is kind of nice. So you could see here's a bowler and here's the leagues you were in based on the leagues that you said you want to be part of this average book. Or you can just simply do it by league and see the bowlers in that league and their average there. So that works quite well. When you add bowlers, this is kind of cool. So I'm in this league and I'm adding bowlers. What I recommend always doing is first see if they're in the league file itself. But if they're not, you can actually say, well, let me look in the MBD. So if I see Orly has never bowled Wednesday and he's going to sub for the first time, I can actually say, well, I'm going to click on the MBD link. I'm going to search for Orly. There he is. And then I can say, bring him into this league. And now all the information that you have in that contact information will get brought into BLS, even their USBC ID number. So you don't have to type all that information in, and saves a lot of time. And then finally, if you're using our tournament programs like BTM, that links in with that as well too. So if you decide to run a tournament, well, the bowlers that were in your league, you can just again import them in very simply, so you minimize all the typing and all that information.
Again, I appreciate you coming on. This is some great information, and I know we might get some more questions. So if I get those questions, I'll see if you're able to come back on the show, or maybe you could push those out on your website, or do you have somewhere maybe where they could get more information?
Absolutely. We have a newsletter that you can sign up for on our homepage at cdesoftware.com, and just give us your email address. If you have, if you're an owner and don't work with BLS, but your league processor does, have them sign up. And we usually send out about 1 or 2 a month. We'll occasionally also do some tech tips or notices that people need to be aware of in BLS. Or some ideas, stuff like we talked about here as well too. And so it's a great thing. And we don't spam you, so you're not going to get an email message every other day. So we just try to keep it about once a month.
There you go. I know. And one of my past jobs, we would have people fill out this little paper, and it would say email address and this and that, and they'd be like, what are you going to send me? I'm like, trust me, I'm not going to do any extra work that I need to do to send you anything. So you're not going to get anything besides the information from me.
Absolutely.
Well, Lance, again, thank you for coming on the show. And everyone, if you're just tuned in this week and you didn't catch Lance's last show, make sure to go listen there. There's some more questions that were answered about some league stuff. So you're all ready to go for the league season. And hopefully you have a great and successful, easy, smooth league season. And until next time, we will talk to everyone soon. Bye-bye.